is Rohit. I will be hosting the show today, and we obviously have Nikun, Jaideep, and a fan even from CSK, Prasanna. So, good evening and welcome everyone to the show, and also welcoming all the viewers who will be watching the show today. Yeah, so let's get started. So today we're going to discuss on multiple things on cricket, as we know that it's a cricket show. So we will start off obviously with our favorite team, that's India. So India versus New Zealand series, and we have been seeing that it's been played very well. India has been doing very well against New Zealand. So we will start with the batsman who opens for us, Rohit Sharma, and that's the first question. So Rohit Sharma has finally scored a century after a very long time. So what do you guys have to say about that? Anyone? Nikun, Jaideep?
Well, pretty surreal. I think it's his first ODI century in 3 years or something.
Yeah.
That's and we were talking about Kohli not being in form at this, that, even Rohit Sharma was not on the greatest of form, if you are to be truly honest. So, and even in the T20 World Cup, he didn't really light it up, so to say, as captain. As captain, you would want him to take more responsibility, but sometimes we don't see him do that. But to see him finally score a century, it felt good, and especially since we are into an ODI World Cup year, which is in like 9 months. This is where he really needs to step up his ante.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with Prasanna. Actually, Rohit Sharma back in 2016-17 used to see him playing big innings. He started that 200 thing for India. Now he is getting 100 after 3 years. It's a bit strange, but yeah, we need this kind of Rohit Sharma for our Indian team because our middle order and lower middle order is not always in that good form, and we need someone to take the anchor the innings throughout, and he can also make quick runs anytime. So yeah, we need Rohit Sharma scoring centuries rather than those 50s.
And one thing I would like to add up is that the stats our Rohit Sharma is getting, क्योंकि जब भी जो start एक मिल जाता है रोहित शर्मा को, we have seen him, Rohit Sharma scoring as many runs as possible. एक बार जब अच्छा start मिल जाता है तब, तो वो जो स्टार्ट्स अब मिलने शुरू हो गए हैं, वी हैव सीन कि वर्ल्ड कप में वो स्टार्ट्स नहीं मिल पा रहे थे. वर्ल्ड कप में रोहित शर्मा अपना विकेट जल्दी थ्रो कर दे रहे थे, तो वो स्टार्ट्स कहीं ना कहीं कम लग रहे थे. बट अभी जब से रोहित शर्मा कुछ बायलैटरल सीरीज में देखने को मिले, रोहित शर्मा को बहुत अच्छे स्टार्ट्स मिले अगेंस्ट श्रीलंका, अगेंस्ट न्यूजीलैंड एज वेल, बांग्लादेश के अगेंस्ट भी थर्ड ओडीआई वाज समथिंग which all the fans wanted from someone like Rohit Sharma. तो ये सब positives जो हैं कहीं ना कहीं इंडियन टीम को तो इफेक्ट करेंगे, क्योंकि ओपनर्स आर डूइंग वेल एंड ओपनर्स यू वांट टू गेट अ गुड स्टार्ट, तो ओपनर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो इंडियन टीम को तो बेनिफिट करने वाले ही हैं ये सब साइंस. उसके अलावा एक जो चीज है जो रोहित शर्मा को एज एन इंडिविजुअल जो पॉजिटिव्स की जरूरत है इस समय जो मुश्किल दौर चल रहा था उनका, तो उनको भी काफी हेल्प करने वाले और ऑब्वियसली कैप्टनसी को भी काफी इंप्रूव करने वाले.
गुड गुड. सो एक और चीज़ है, जैसे कहते भी हैं क्रिकेट में कि फॉर्म जो है वो टेम्परेरी है, बट क्लास जो है वो परमानेंट है. सो हमने देखा है विराट के लिए भी कहते हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि रोहित शर्मा के लिए भी एक जो क्लास है उनका, दैट ही होल्ड्स द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ हिटिंग द मैक्सिमम सिक्सेस. So, do you think that there is anyone else in the Indian team currently, maybe from the young lords, who can go ahead and break that record that he holds currently? So, what would you like to say about that?
I think Ishan Kishan can do this. I mean, he's such a big hitting batsman. He's got the ability, और बहुत अच्छा हिटिंग पावर है, बहुत अच्छी रेंज है. एंड ऑब्वियसली संजू सैमसन, अगर उनको कंटिन्यूअसली खिलाया जाए तो संजू सैमसन का नाम तो बिल्कुल लेना ही है, क्योंकि उनकी जितनी रेंज है आई डोंट थिंक किसी और की रेंज हो सकती है सिक्स हिटिंग कैपेबिलिटी के मामले में. or Ishan Kishan. I think Ishan Kishan can also do this.
Yeah, I agree.
I also have name of Rishabh Pant, maybe like when he comes after his injury.
I mean, I think that Hardik Pandya also stands a chance because he comes there in the middle, but his six hitting is very good, and I think he has that aggressive approach also. So I think even he
Yep.
can maybe break the record. So that's what is my feeling. And obviously, would like to also welcome everyone again in the chat. I saw Mihir Bhai saying hello, so hello to you. Yeah, so we will just move ahead. The opener. So obviously we spoke about Ishan, but there is another opener which is Shubman Gill, and he's been in terrific form. He's already scored like 3 centuries in 4 matches. So what would you like to say about him? Like, do you think that he's good as an opener, and we can obviously look at him, coming in the coming World Cup that's coming? So what are your views?
I
So
think he's one batter that has been rated ever since the under 19 World Cup days, and he's always had that class touch with him, and his timing is beautiful, just beautiful to watch. But he was not getting the big scores. Excuse me. He'd always get those starts like 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, but he would never get to big scores. But now we are seeing him Test century, back-to-back ODI centuries. So he's slowly coming into the big score thing now. And again, like I said with Rohit Sharma, with him, this is the World Cup year. Um, I think him and Rohit Sharma would be opening in the he would be opening in the World Cup if he continues this way. And his next 9 months, he has to be consistent on this way to cement his spot. And if he does that, then I don't think anyone is taking his spot. Even though Ishan Kishan, we know he scored double century, but Gill off
yeah,
rate has been the preferred choice, and we are seeing why. To be honest,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I just want to continue that. Agree with Gil's talent and everything. And when we are comparing with Ishan, they both are different kind of player, but still, Gil's performance overseas will be monitored now, and I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he will perform there also because his technique, his temperament suits like Australian pitches, England pitches, and he's the one who can who is looking after next Virat Kohli or Sachin. So yes, he is the first choice opener along with Rohit.
Yeah, for me too. For me too. Same thing. Gill is going to open alongside Rohit Sharma because, as Nikunj bhai mentioned, that his overseas performances are going to be monitored from now on. And I would say that overseas performances को monitor करने के बाद ही उनका ODI squad में selection किया गया है. ऐसा मुझे लगता है क्योंकि under 19 days he was very amazing on the New Zealand pitches because Indians are not meant to play at New Zealand pitches or fast pitches or bouncy tracks. They need spin tracks, they need slow tracks. But Shubman Gill was outstanding in the World Cup. शुभमन गिल ने फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बहुत अच्छा स्कोर किया है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी डिफिकल्ट ट्रैक्स थे तो शुभमन गिल हैज बिन द आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मर वेन एवर गिवन चांसेस. तो अब मुझे लगता है कि हटाना इजी नहीं होने वाला.
Yeah, I think I would also like to add a point here, as we have also been obviously seeing the interviews and also obviously pre-match where both the captains, Rohit Sharma as well as Hardik Pandya, both have been backing also Shubman. So I think that backing is also very important to have from the captain for your confidence building. So I think he'll get a good run, and I'm sure he'll do justice. So that is another thing. Also, we have been seeing recently the spinners doing very well. So, what's your take on that? I think we also saw Washington Sundar doing pretty well recently. So, what's your take on the spinners, and what do you think? Like, who can be those spinners whom we can look at? With the World Cup coming up. So, your views.
We've always had spinners, right? We have been blessed with this group of spinners who have come in and done well. We've seen from all those days, and now on his slowly on his way back up is Kuldeep Yadav, and hopefully he can get a longer run. Because in the middle he went we didn't know where he was playing. Like, he would come in, he would go out, he would randomly get one game in the middle, but now we're kind of seeing him get a decent run in, and I think he will be crucial when it comes to the World Cup. And Washington Sundar, yes, and I think he can also be given a longer rope, but that could be said about possibly anyone, because we have so much talent that we are sort of like spoiled for choice on who to give and who not to give chances. But at the end of the day, I think we have to kind of see on a little bit of reputation as well as on form, because if you see in our even in the New Zealand ODIs, we didn't use much spinners. It was more of Umran Malik, Thakur, etc. Washington Sundar was used here and there, so we maybe could maybe could use another spinner. I think Chahal is. I think Kulcha. We are finally seeing them together. God knows when the last time we saw them. So I think they still have something left in them, and I think they will be a very big asset going into this ODI World Cup.
Yes. Even I think Kulcha factor can come now, but to be very frank, Kulcha like Kuldeep and Chahal both don't bat well. So going forward, it will be tough. One might have to live, and Sundar and even Jadeja is coming up back up,
Yeah.
making a comeback. So that can be a tough factor. There are a lot of choices for us, and I might see Sundar and Jadeja getting a nod ahead of Chahal. I'm a big UZ fan, but currently what I feel Kuldeep and maybe Sundar or Jadeja playing in the team.
Yeah, I also feel the same. That in cricket, you every time want the 3D thing. As many players as possible. You want number of 3D players in your side. We have seen Washington Sundar drastically improving his batting. In the last few international matches, we have seen him. Washington Sundar has been outstanding performer with the bat. तो जहां पर भी उनको चांस मिला वो स्कोर करके दे रहे हैं आपको एंड स्पिन हिज बॉलिंग हैज बिन बहुत अच्छी रही थी जब जब उनको बॉलिंग करने का चांस मिला है तो वॉशिंगटन सुंदर की बैटिंग की वजह से उनको किसी और प्लेयर के ऊपर प्रेफर किया जा सकता है इवन अक्षर पटेल को किसी और प्लेयर के ऊपर प्रेफर किया जा सकता है बिकॉज ऑफ हिज बैटिंग स्किल्स Jadeja has been out of the team for a long time, and now he'll be back as well. So it's going to be tough for our management to decide upon who are going to be our frontline spinners because we have got a plenty of options, but it's going to be upon the management. It's going to be the call of management to decide upon that who's going to play. Because some of the spinners are even not in the scheme of things. I would say Ravi Bishnoi has been outstanding performer जब भी उनको चांस दिया गया बट अभी वो स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स में नजर भी नहीं आ रहे जब से आई थिंक एशिया कप जब से कंक्लूड हुआ है उसके बाद से वो रवि बिश्नोई बिल्कुल नजर नहीं आए तो मैनेजमेंट के लिए टफ कॉल होने वाला है यंगस्टर्स बहुत सारे इंडिया में दरवाजा खटखटा रहे हैं कि भाई हमको भी चांस दो बट ये मैनेजमेंट को डिसाइड करना है कि जो हमने गलतियां पहले करी वो अब ना करें एक टीम को कंसिस्टेंटली चांसेस दिए जाए उस टीम पे स्टिक रहा जाए और उस टीम को वर्ल्ड कप खिलाया जाए
Sure. I mean that's good views about what it is with the spinners. We are spoiled for choices definitely because there are a lot of good spinners. So we will obviously now move to another series that's happening, and I think that's of great interest to all the RR fan actually, which is the South Africa T20, and our team has been doing really well, Pal Royals, and we have one man there, killer Miller the Killer, and he's been in such terrific form. And obviously, he's also got two man of the match performances that he's had. So, what are your views on, like, obviously, he's in form right now. Do you all think he'll be able to maintain his form right till the semi-finals and the finals, or do you think that there could be, some hiccups that we may have? Also, I mean, I think that we are currently relying a lot heavily on Butler to give us starts and then Miller to take it to the end. So do you all think that others also like need to pitch in? So
So if I say I feel Miller's dependency is too much, but he's in killer form definitely. The way he's finishing matches, those long six, like I don't know मिलर ने कभी अपना फॉर्म छोड़ा थ्रू आउट द उसके करियर में. मिलर ऑलवेज दो तीन महीने में एक बार तो ऐसी इनिंग्स दे ही देते हैं कि या वी यूज्ड टू से या किलर मिलर. सो his dependency is too much and I feel नीचे ऑलराउंडर्स को थोड़ा और परफॉर्म करना चाहिए एंड मिडिल ऑर्डर को भी अभी फायर करना पड़ेगा, स्पेशली जेसन रॉय. उसका परफॉर्मेंस भी बहुत मैटर करता है बटलर के साथ. अगर वो दोनों जिस दिन फायर कर लिया साथ में देन मैच ओवर फॉर द ओपोनेंट. सो वेटिंग फॉर दैट मैच एंड होपफुली वो फाइनल्स में हो सीधा.
निकुंज भाई, यू मेंशन दैट मिलर की फॉर्म गई कहाँ थी इतने टाइम से, तो मैं उसमें ऐड करना चाह रहा था कि भाई जब से राजस्थान रॉयल्स से निकले हैं, वो अपनी जो मेन टीम है उससे निकले, उसके बाद से तो अलग ही एक फॉर्म पे है बंदा भाई. गुजरात टाइटंस को टाइटल जिता के दिया. उसके बाद बायलैटरल सीरीज में ही इज बीन अमेजिंग अमेजिंग. एंड SA20 में भी देख रहे हैं जो डिपेंडेंसी जॉस और मिलर के ऊपर है. I mean, batting lineup in दो players की वजह से ही है. As Rohit Bhaiya mentioned that other players need to hop in. तो बिल्कुल सही बात है कि दूसरे प्लेयर्स को अभी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि इट्स बिन ऑलमोस्ट एवरी टीम हैज प्लेड एन ऑड ऑफ एट मैचेस. तो अब ये टाइम है कि अब यहाँ से सारे मैचेस जीतने के ही हैं. दो लीग मैचेस वो जीतने पड़ेंगे आपको, उसके बाद सेमीफाइनल देन फाइनल्स. ऑल द गेम्स आर सॉर्ट ऑफ नॉकआउट गेम्स. तो अब यहाँ से अगर कुछ हिकअप्स होते तो वी माइट मिस द इनॉग्रल टाइटल. तो अगर ऐसा नहीं होना है तो अपने को प्लेयर्स को मोटिवेट करना पड़ेगा, मैनेजमेंट को उनको मोटिवेट करना पड़ेगा कि आप रन स्कोर करें और अच्छी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंसेस दें. और जेसन रॉय, एज रोहित भैया मेंशन्ड, जेसन रॉय की कल ही बहुत शानदार सेंचुरी आई है, तो थोड़ा सा रिलीफ मिला है जरूर अपन लोगों को. बट T20 में फॉर्म आने में उनको शायद और टाइम लग सकता है. तो आई होप कम से कम टाइम लगे एंड ही परफॉर्म्स वेल फॉर पाल रॉयल्स.
एंड ऑल्सो वन थिंग, जैसे CSK फैन है तो आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन धोनी हियर. मिलर अभी कुछ एक दो साल से वो धोनी फीलिंग याद दिलाते हैं, बिकॉज द वे वो एंटर होते हैं डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन में, कामली आते हैं, बॉल्स थोड़े प्ले करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं पहली दूसरी बॉल पे सिक्स मारना स्टार्ट कर दिया, अपनी सिक्स हिटिंग एबिलिटी को बहुत बैकअप करते हैं और लास्ट दो ओवर में जाके स्कोर करते हैं, जो धोनी किया करते थे ये लेट 30s में कुछ. तो मिलर की भी थोड़ा वही काइंड ऑफ मुझे इनिंग्स लगती, आते हैं सिंगल्स लेंगे शांति से, पता नहीं चलेगा कब वो मैच जीता के चले जाते हैं. सो जस्ट मेकिंग मतलब धोनी की थोड़ी याद आ गई.
एग्जैक्टली, परफेक्ट.
yeah, so now we'll just move on to obviously the next thing. So cricket definitely, and controversies both always run hand in hand. Some controversies are big, some controversies are small. So I would like to put this question to Prasanna, obviously, because he also would be following the South Africa T20. So there is a bowler who's a spinner in Joburg Super Kings, which is Aaron. So now he has been banned for illegal action. So is there anything that you would like to say about it? I mean, was it very harsh, or was it something that they should have checked at the start of the series and not take a decision suddenly in the middle? Or
Probably, yeah, because at least if you find him that his action was not appropriate and you take him out of the start, we would at least say, okay, he's not available now for us, we'll find a replacement. But now, being our second highest wicket taker, and he has turned around so many games for us, like 4 wickets all here, 3 wickets there, and it becomes hard to find a replacement for someone like a Fungiso, because with his experience of playing in those leagues for like 10 plus years, it's you can replace talent, you can replace skills, but you cannot replace experience. That is the hardest thing to replace, especially in a T20 game. So, and I think Alzari Joseph is also out. I think, I mean, he put some Twitter post or something. I'm not sure what that is, but I have to see what that's about. But last game we didn't play Fungi, so and we somehow we kind of got over the line quite comfortably against Durban Super Giants. But last three games at home is what I'm keenly looking forward to, given the fact that our next game is actually against the Power Royals, I think on February 3rd, and after that we play the Sunrisers, and then we play the MI Cape Town. So it's going to be interesting to see how the team combination pans out. But I think it's slowly coming up now. But it's going to be hard to replace him. But we have to see what they do. We have to make use of local talent, local South Africa talents, and that's the beauty of leagues, right? They always say one's loss is someone else's gain. So let's see who gains from this.
That's a nice positive answer. Good. So, moving on, obviously, because we spoke of one spinner, and there is also another spinner, again in Pal Royals, who looks to be in super form. He seems to have a magic hand. He comes in the first over, bowls, and he always gets a wicket. So, his name is 14, but he feels like a fountain for us. I mean, he's just sprinkling so much of happiness right at the first over for us, and that gets the excitement going. So what do you all have to say about 14? And also we have another spinner in the team, that's Shamsi. So do you all think that both are having their own importance, or do you think he's better than Shamsi? Or so what are your views on that?
Actually, it's quite tough to compare both. They both have the different abilities, but yeah, a good combination to have for any team. Shamshi, bowl beautifully is in this middle over and have wicket taking ability. And for 14 के बारे में तो क्या कहें, वो फर्स्ट ओवर में आके विकेट लेते हैं, टाइडियस बॉलिंग डालते हैं, एंड रन्स भी इतना नहीं देते. सो या वी विल सी हिम प्लेइंग इन साउथ अफ्रीका वेरी सून. एंड ग्रेट बॉल लाइक लाइन लेंथ, और जिस वे में पेस वेरी करते हैं, वो जैसे सेंटनर कर रहे थे लास्ट मैच में, तो बहुत लेफ्ट आर्मर के लिए बहुत जरूरी है अपनी पेस वेरी करना. एंड ही इज डूइंग दैट वेल.
Yeah, exactly. Bjorn Fortin and Tapresh Hamzi both are both have different kind of skill set. But what Bjorn has done for us, in this SA20 has been amazing. फर्स्ट ओवर में आके विकेट निकाल के देना, और बैटिंग जो सामने वाली टीम की है उनको कहीं ना कहीं स्टम्बल कर देते हैं पहले ओवर में ही, और वहां पर रुकते नहीं है. जो है वहां पर स्टॉप नहीं लगता है उनको, वहां से आगे ओवर्स डालेंगे, आगे विकेट्स निकालेंगे, लाइन लेंथ एकदम परफेक्ट है. तो बियॉन्ड 14 हैज बीन अ वेरी गुड पिक फॉर अस इन दिस सीजन ऑफ SA20. बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्म करके दिया. और मैं बोलना चाहूंगा कि राजस्थान रॉयल्स की जो ये स्ट्रैटेजी रही है स्पिनर्स को टारगेट करने की, इन IPL वी हैव सीन कि यूजी चहल और रविचंद्रन अश्विन दोनों को टारगेट किया गया, और आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मर्स रहे दोनों प्लेयर्स ने बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्म किया. और वैसे ही यहाँ पर भी हो रहा है. तबरेश शम्सी इंपॉर्टेंट ओवर्स में आके विकेट्स निकाल के देते हैं, और बियॉन फॉर्टन स्टार्टिंग में विकेट्स निकाल के देते हैं. तो ये कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत अच्छा प्रूव हो रहा है. कहीं ना कहीं स्टार्टिंग में मुझे लग रहा था कि शायद हमारी बॉलिंग उतनी लीथल ना हो. फास्ट बॉलर्स के नाम पे खाली लुंगी अंगीडी है, और उसके अलावा लोकल प्लेयर्स ही हैं. स्पिनर्स के नाम पे खाली तबरेज शम्सी नजर आ रहे हैं. बियॉन फॉर्टन ऑब्वियसली कैप साउथ अफ्रीकन प्लेयर, बट इतना उनके बारे में मैंने सुना नहीं था कि अपने लोकल ग्राउंड पे वो इतना अच्छा परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, ऐसा मेरे को नहीं लगा था. तो ये कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत अच्छा प्रूव हुआ है. ये बॉलिंग बंच बहुत अच्छा प्रूव हुआ है. पहले मुझे लग रहा था कि बैटिंग के दम पे हम लोग मैच जीतेंगे इस टूर्नामेंट में, बट अब मुझे लग रहा है कि बॉलिंग ज्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है, बैटिंग थोड़ा सा और साउथ अफ्रीकन प्लेयर से कॉम्प्लीमेंटेशन और रिक्वायर्ड है. बट ओवरऑल टीम इज डूइंग वेल.
Good. So, I mean, just another question connected to it. So now, since we are obviously moving towards the end part of the tournament, so any two South African players to look out for in Pal Royals, and again to Prasanna, any two South African players to look out for in the upcoming games for Joburg Super Kings?
Joburg, I'd say straight away Donovan Ferreira and Leo Deploy, because they have come in difficult situations and handled things well. Because the opening has not been great in most of the games. Just last game, it was just Duplessis' fantastic innings that took us through. But Donovan Ferreira and we've seen a show, we've seen on shows with Ashwin, and there's an analyst that comes there who is part of the South African team, who has been with South Africa's local team, and he has scouted that. He has like picked up Donovan Ferreira as the next big thing, as like he can come in, he can strike the ball at any situation, and he's got long levers. And Deploy, he has come in at number 3 and steadied the ship for Joburg Super Kings. And of course, Captain Fantastic is always there. Faf du Plessis is now the second highest run scorer, just behind Josh Butler. But these two are the main ones to look out for. And in terms of bowling, I think Gerald Coetzee, although Coetzee is Scottish, right? Is he? Is Gerald Coetzee Scottish?
No, South African.
Okay, I thought he was. Okay, he's South African, yeah, and he's obviously the highest wicket taker. He's got 11 wickets with crucial blows here and there. So, yeah, looking forward to them in the last 3 games, and hopefully we get more teams, because 16 tournament is a pretty short tournament. So, hopefully we get to see the expansion in the near future. Obviously, this is the first year, but maybe in the near future, in like 4 or 5 years' time, we will see longer tournaments. Of course, we are seeing the ILT20, which has 6 teams, and Women's IPL, which has finally happened after God knows how many years. That also with 6 teams. So we start slow, but over a period of time, we have to see the expansion, and hopefully we see that. And so yeah, Donovan Ferreira, Deploy, and I'll just add a Gerald Coetzee in there because he's our highest wicket taker.
So if I talk about power royals, then yeah, Fortune and also Evan Jones, the way he is bowling. So yeah, these two are my picks.
For me, I think Bjorn Fortuin for sure is going to be there. And I think the one who is going to be surprising for all of you is going to be Andile Paklukwayo, because he has not been given consistent chances, but he has been there in the South African national side, both T20 and ODIs. So he has got the experience. As Prasanna mentioned, you can replace talent, you can replace anything, but you cannot replace experience. So when you have experience on bench, why not use him? So I think Paklukwayo in remaining games is going to do wonders for us, and Bjorn Fortuin is already doing it.
Great. So obviously we've had discussion around the male cricket, and we will now just move our focus to women cricket. And the first thing about women cricket is obviously the Indian under-19 team, and they have been doing very, very well. I think we were supposed to discuss about how they have done so far, but they are already into the finals, is what we know, obviously by defeating New Zealand. So it's been pretty nice. So what are your views on like how is the under 19 women's cricket team doing currently, and are they headed in the right direction? Do you all think we'll have a lot of talent coming in from there into the senior team, and how's the future prospect looking?
Currently, I feel our management is taking things seriously in women cricket also. As you can see, introduction of IPL for women. So yeah, overall things are looking in good direction. And if we see under 19 Indian team's performance, we can see that yeah, that when they will grow up and play for the major Indian team, that will be altogether different setup, and we can compete with big teams in their grounds also, which currently we are not able to win in overseas matches. So yeah, that we can definitely see changes in coming 2 to 3 years.
And also the likes of Shafali Verma and Richa Ghosh, who have been playing in the senior teams, that helps in a long way. I mean, imagine you're not even hitting, you're just about to be turning into an adult, and you're already playing for the senior national team, and you're going to be the face of the national. And we all know Shafali Verma. She's not just Like, she's not just coming off the benches for 1 or 2 games. She's not playing one game here. She's the main opener. So imagine how she will be once she matures and grows even as a better player. She has at least 15 more, at least 15, 16 years. So too does Richa Ghosh, and the likes of Sharawat, our opener, who is obviously the top scorer as well in the tournament, and it is looking good. And let's see, let's hope we can win against England, because an ICC tournament win for India is long due, be it the men's team or the women's team. And the thing of the women's team is, when the men's team have a semi-final thing, the women's team has a final thing, because women's teams in semi-final, they've always done well. We all know the 171 not out. We all know the other things, and but the finals is where we end up being second best. Like 2017, the one in England, I still don't know how we lost that. 2020 in Australia, we got hammered. Even the Commonwealth Games final, we lost to Australia. Thank God Australia is not that. But still, um, I expect us to do. I expect us to do well against England. England, though, we cannot take them for lightly. They restricted 99 against Australia, which is not an easy task to do. So, as Nikon Bhai mentioned, we are heading in the right direction finally, and of course, it also helped that they played. I think they played a tri-series before that in South Africa itself. So um, before the tournament that happened, that experience comes well. And of course, Indian women's team are now playing another tri-series against South Africa and West Indies before we start our own T20 World Cup campaign against Pakistan on February the 12th. So we are headed in the right direction, and with women's IPL, and a lot more money will come in. So we'll get a lot more investment going into grassroots and all the others. And although we are a good few years behind Australia in terms of where we are in development, it's good to see we are finally getting up the ladder.
Exactly, very well summed up, Prasanna Bhai, because women's cricket has been something which is really concerning in terms of world cricket. Men's cricket has reached to another heights. Men's cricket has been watched everywhere, almost in every country now, because since the T20 cricket has been announced, the popularity is growing in it's growing in numbers, is multiplicating in numbers. So women's cricket was concerning thing, but since the introduction of women's IPL thing, जहाँ पर I think almost 10,000 CR तो media rights को मिले हैं, BCCI को media rights से मिले, और almost 5,000 CR की franchises sell out हुई है, तो it's a big positive. And even before any ball being thrown in the women's IPL, it's already the second richest league in the cricketing history after IPL. So it's a very big achievement, जो कि विमेन्स क्रिकेट को मोटिवेशन देने वाला है आगे चल के, कि आप लोग में भी टैलेंट है, आप लोग भी अच्छा परफॉर्म करके देते हैं, एंड व्हाई नॉट. हमने काफी इंटरेस्टिंग मैचेस देखे विमेन्स क्रिकेट के, जहां पर you think of 2017 women's world cup final where India was defeating England easily, but out of nowhere England came back and they just won the match. So ये सब चीजें इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में हो रही हैं, जो इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट को, स्पेशली विमेन्स क्रिकेट को, बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग बनाता है. तो मुझे लगता है कि yes, it's going in right direction. And for under 19 women's world cup, I think Indian team has done a very good job so far. They stormed into final. They have single-handedly defeated all the teams. So I just hope they do this in finals as well.
Yeah, I think even I started following the women's cricket team only during the World Cup, when they had gone through the semis and entered the final, and there was obviously a lot of excitement in the air, and everyone wanted India to win and do well. So I think that's when I also started following. But since then, I have been a regular follower. So that's all. Now there is a question that's up for Prasanna, obviously, so which is by Jay, and he's saying that what do you think is going wrong for England in ODI, winning only the last 4 out of 11?
They
So
always
would
have
you?
this cycle after a World Cup where they kind of go through a little bit of slump, but it's exactly opposite to what happens with Indian cricket, right? I mean, we do well in bilateral series only to go slump in the World Cup. They kind of go through a slump in the bilateral series, which they can take because it's a bilateral series and they can afford to kind of slip one or two. But when it comes to World Cup, they take it seriously, and you see the results. I mean, this slump happens, but I think they'll be back. It's just that they're getting their combinations right, and they're trying to get the combinations. Obviously, Archer came back after a while, and he got spanked around. So it's a question of him coming into form. And when you're coming off a lengthy layoff, it's going to take time to bed in. So they have to be patient. They will stick with him, but I still think they have a strong enough team to compete because we all know the talent that England has been bringing over the last few years. And the baseball in tests has taken an effect in one days and T20s as well. We clearly see that. The intent is there.
Good. So obviously, there has been a lot of discussion around the women's IPL finally coming. So that's a
Yeah.
good thing. Now, so we see that there are 5 teams which are there now, which is very good. It will be very competitive, and 3 have already been taken away by IPL teams again. But there are 2 new entrants, and one definitely is Adani, and Nikunj Bhai will be very happy about that because it's coming out of Ahmedabad, and another one is Capri. So these are the 2 people who have come in very recently. Obviously, Adani also wanted to buy a team in the past, but they have not been so successful. And Capri is also coming in, and I guess that they are also having, say they have a sports bent, and it's nice to see that they are coming through with a team finally in women's IPL. But they are pretty new. So, and the IPL team owners are pretty old. I mean, because they know how IPL works and all of that. So, what do you think should be their strategy now since they have entered, and what should they do to be competitive in the women's IPL? Like, how can they make their team more competent?
I
See,
think,
see, so
Nikunj, please.
yeah. So if I begin, as you were saying, I was very happy. So yeah, actually, Adani taking a team was actually predicted when they were bidding for Gujarat Titans. So, but unfortunately, they were not able to. But yes, it was on the cards that they will get a women team. The way they were bid, so you can see the amount and understand. And Adani is a big group, and they would have worked out properly, minutely. So if we are thinking that other IPL owners have experience how to play, how to manage a team, Adani would have thought a step ahead. And you can see Gujarat Titans performance. So we cannot scrap off a new team or new owner coming up. They have more, fresh legs, new thought process, and how to scout out, like search a good players. So yeah, so we cannot think, and this move, like this will be very exciting, and we were all waiting for this to happen. Unfortunately, Royals don't have a team, but yeah, pretty very soon we can see them.
I mean,
Yeah,
you don't become a proper businessman without being good in business. And I mean, I think he's now the richest Indian in the world, and he has enough money to literally buy so many things. And him investing, like he's trying his hand in he tried to invest in everything possible in women's cricket. Then when you see him invest so much in women's cricket, where everyone just have just branded it as so and so, that shows that he's very interested in it, not just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Rohit bhai mentioned there, that जो टीम्स यहाँ पर आई हैं वो नई हैं, उनके अंदर थोड़ा सा एक्सपीरियंस कम हो सकता है, बट आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन दैट Adani Group already has one team in the ILT20, which is Gulf Giants. So they have that experience, how to build a team. And Adanis are super strong. As Prasanna mentioned, they are a very, big group in Indian market, and they can literally do anything. As Nikunj bhai also mentioned that they are having, they are doing a start from scratch thing. They will hire new managers, they'll hire new coaches, they'll hire new directors of cricket. So उस सब चीज से उनको काफी एक्सपीरियंस भी मिल जाएगा, और साथ के साथ जो है अच्छी टीम वो लोग बनाने में सक्सेसफुल भी रह पाएंगे, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जितना बड़ा ग्रुप उतना ज्यादा उनकी रीच होगी और उतना अच्छा वो आगे जो है रिजल्ट्स को दे पाते हैं। जैसे हम IL T20 में भी देख सकते हैं कि गल्फ जाइंट्स ऑन एंड ऑन एक बहुत ही अच्छी टीम बना के दी है उन्होंने, आउट ऑफ लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर्स। तो ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस का इशू मुझे नहीं लगता कि आने वाला है टीम्स के साथ, बिकॉज यू नो it's going to be a fair contest for all the teams to participate in the auctions, or maybe if they do drafting, it's going to be all fair that which player is going to which team and all. तो बिल्कुल एक फेयर कंपटीशन होने वाला है। तो यहाँ पर मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई भी टीम किसी एक्सपर्टीज में लैक बिहाइंड करने वाली है। बट ये जरूर बात है कि जो पुरानी IPL टीम्स हैं उनको थोड़ा सा एडवांटेज तो रह गई, क्योंकि they have been in the business since long. तो we'll see what happens.
And any take on Capri? I mean, they have also come in, and obviously they've got Lucknow. So, do you guys think that they will reach out to the team owners of Lucknow Super Giants and obviously the Gujarat team, and they may, try to get those guys to come in and meet the women IPL players? Do you think they'll do something like that?
So that's an individual choice. I think the owners can, sit down and have some activities, and these things can happen, and that can help them to, have a same kind of fans coming back to support even women team. So yeah, even we do that with Jaipur Pink Panthers occasionally, being from Rajasthan Royals. So yeah, this kind of thing even from different sports happens. So if we are talking about internally cricket, yeah, we can expect that.
Yeah, I also feel same because they want to retain fans at the end of the day. This is very important that they want to retain the fans. अगर आप लखनऊ में खेल रहे हैं, as you mentioned that Capri Loans has got a franchisee for लखनऊ, तो अगर आप लखनऊ में खेल रहे हैं तो यू वांट कि लखनऊ सुपर जायंट्स के फैंस कैप्री लिमिटेड के जो टीम आने वाली उनके फैंस वो दोनों सिमिलर हो, because at the end of the day this is the group you need to target, this is the bunch of people you need to target. अगर आप उनको टारगेट करेंगे तो आपको बेनिफिट मिलने वाला है, क्योंकि आपके एरिया में वही फैंस का ग्रुप है, दे ऑल आर गोइंग टू कम इनटू द स्टेडियम्स टू चीयर फॉर द टीम्स. तो इट ऑल हैज टू बी डन इन अ कोलैबोरेशन थिंग. आप लोगों को अच्छे नए इनोवेटिव्स आइडिया निकालने पड़ेंगे, अच्छी नई स्ट्रैटेजीज डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी, ताकि आप लोग इस फील्ड में एक कुछ नया ला सके, ताकि दोनों फ्रेंचाइजीज के फैंस को एक ही जगह रिटेन्ड करके रखा जा सके. अगर आप मेरे से ये सवाल पूछेंगे, इफ यू आर गोइंग टू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन टू मी, आई वुड से कि अगर राजस्थान रॉयल्स नहीं है तो मैं कोई भी फ्रेंचाइजी को सपोर्ट नहीं करने वाला. बट निकुंज भाई शायद इसका आंसर अलग दे कि अडानी यहाँ पर है, वो लोग लोकल्स भी हैं और हमारे पास स्टेडियम जाने की अपॉर्चुनिटी भी रहेगी, तो व्हाई नॉट सपोर्ट अडानीज. तो हर इंडिविजुअल का आंसर डिफरेंट हो सकता है, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे यू नीड टू टारगेट those viewers who are watching IPL consistently and who are die-hard supporters of the franchisees. So that's all you need to do.
आई वांट टू ऐड वन पॉइंट हियर. मैं अभी वही सोच रहा था कि मैं 2008 से हर एक टीम राजस्थान रॉयल्स या राजस्थान की होती है उसको फॉलो करता हूँ. सो इवन इफ यू टेक प्रो कबड्डी लीग, सो पाल रॉयल्स हुआ. फाइनली आफ्टर 15 इयर्स में 23 में जाके कोई गुजरात की टीम को फॉलो करूंगा, बीइंग फ्रॉम गुजरात. सो एक ऐसे स्ट्रेटेजिकली इफ यू विल सी राजस्थान के भी फैंस मे बी गुजरात की तरफ इंक्लाइंड हो, बीइंग अ नेबर्स, ऐसा चांस है. तो या सो दिस इज द बेनिफिट ऑफ हैविंग मल्टीपल लीग्स.
Just want to make sure, Nikunj bhai, you don't switch to Gujarat Titans now.
It won't ever happen.
Okay, and we'll just move on to the next question. And this has been a little controversial, and also whether it's like a true or false kind of a question that's come up. So, we obviously saw that the women IPL teams got formed, and there was a good amount of cash flow that happened within the league. And obviously, there are also comparisons being made that it's been even better than the 2008 IPL, which happened, and teams got formed. So it's been more than that. So do you all think it's like a true thing, or do you all think it's just like in the air kind of a thing that's been spread?
Obviously, 2008 the money was so different. Now you see all inflations going everywhere. Obviously, comparisons can be made, yes, but at that time, no one knew what the IPL was going to take. No, that at that time, even franchise cricket as a whole was not that big of a popular thing. You had your Australian teams with New South Wales and whatnot, and but it was not, franchise cricket was not big as what we thought it would be so many years later. And with as much as they can have comments about him, Lalit Modi took a gamble, invested $25 million, and he made this the biggest league in the world. So, and after that is the reason, and that is the reason why, and we see women's cricket rising, and of course we've been crying out for women's IPL for how long? And they just put this namesake T20 challenge where they make them play at 2 p.m. in Pune heat, which is literally close to impossible. So now hopefully they have changed something. And so good to see money being invested. And of course, there will be questions, but I think it's always been said, if you if you telecast it to people on a prime channel on this prime time, they will definitely watch it. Are you telling me that if you telecast women's IPL on Star Sports at 7 p.m., they're not going to watch it? Obviously, they will. It's just that they need to be marketed more properly. We have seen many women's matches like have direct head-on clashes with men's games, and that affects their viewership continuously. So give them their own slot, and they will obviously do better.
Yeah, and also I want to add one point that the persona mentioned about the way they market this. Now the amount which have been bid is, for me, I think this is overpriced. This amount is fluke kind of thing. Because you see this amount being recovered in coming years. So investment are
Yeah.
being made initially, but one thing is very important: how you market women's cricket in Indian, because Indian market is more about of sentiments. तो I'm pretty sure एक आईपीएल होने के बाद आपको कितनी लड़कियां क्रिकेट खेलते हुए दिखेगी, वो चेंज आपको जो नेक्स्ट ईयर दिखने वाला है, दैट इज ट्रेमेंडस. बिकॉज एक पेरेंट्स को देखना कि यंग वुमेन्स भी खेल रही है, 19 ईयर्स की, 20 ईयर्स की आईपीएल खेल रही है, जो यंग लड़कियां वो देख के और मोटिवेट लेगी, और पेरेंट्स जो मोटिवेशन लेंगे कि हाँ लड़कियों को भी स्पोर्ट्स में डालना चाहिए, दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. एंड वो कैसे हिट करता है, मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटेजी कैसे हिट करती है, कैसे सेंटीमेंट्स पे खेल के अट्रैक्ट करते हैं. तो एडवर्टाइजिंग दिस ऑल थिंग विल बी वेरी क्रुशियल. एंड मुझे एक और चीज लगती है कि ये लीग्स में थोड़े अलग रूल्स भी लाने जरूरी है. ग्राउंड्स छोटे रखना, हाई स्कोरिंग कैसे बनाना, बिकॉज हमने देखा है 150 भी एक हाई स्कोर हो जाता है वुमेन्स टीम में, बिकॉज उनकी हिटिंग कैपेबिलिटी इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अस. बट यू कैन चेंज सम न्यू रूल्स लाके, थोड़ा ट्रेंडी बना के, और थोड़े बॉलीवुड स्टार्स या कुछ उनका भी हेल्प लेके, यू कैन मेक दिस लीग ऑल्सो वर्थ ऑफ द अमाउंट जो अभी इन्वेस्ट किया है. So this all thing can happen, and yeah, you can see this growing in coming years.
And I don't think owners will look to make profit in the first year. Like we even see in ISL, like the Indian Super League, that clubs that were formed in 2014, like all many started 2014, they are still taking losses. And I think one over, and I think FC Goa's owner or someone else's owner said that I'm not looking for profit at least in the next like 10 to 12 years. So they would see result more than profit. And some owners are willing to take maybe 1 or 2 years or even 3 years of losses if it means that it'll it if it means that this will definitely give returns if we even invest more, because they have the capability. And this is not a one time investment. Let's put this clear: this is not one time. This should be done continuously. And even if someone stops, someone should come in and take over and take this thing forward.
Great,
Obviously,
great. Good.
very well mentioned by Prasanna and Nukunj by that. It's not just about one season, or it's not just about one league. It's gonna be a long term. It's gonna be futuristic. It's gonna be something that Indian society needs to have. Women empowerment and all. You want the ladies to go out as well, play some sport, play some cricket, plays, do some things they want to do, because Indian society is so restrictive. So that's the change we want to see in our society in coming years. See, you see all the developed countries, they don't put all those kind of restrictions that we see, that Indian societies in that Indian societies basically have. So we don't want India to become that sort of country. We want India to become a developed country. We want India to grow well. We want India to be at their best in all the aspects. So that women's empowerment, or I would say women's going out and doing their part of things is a very big, very important aspect when you call something a society. So ये चीज मैं भी देखना चाह रहा था, आप सब देखना चाह रहे थे कि कब विमेंस आईपीएल होता है. एंड प्रसन्ना वेरी वेल मेंशन दैट देयर वाज अ विमेंस टी20 चैलेंज, जहां पर गर्मी में दिन में मैचेस कराए जाते थे जिनको कोई देखने नहीं जा रहा है, बिकॉज नो अटेंशन वाज पेड टू इट. आप कुछ करना नहीं चाहते, जब तक आप कुछ करना नहीं चाहते तब तक कुछ होता नहीं है. जैसे ही आप चेंज लाना चाहेंगे, जैसे आप कुछ नया करना चाहेंगे, सोसाइटी डज सपोर्ट्स इट. प्रसन्ना वेरी मेंशन दैट अगर आप नेशनल टेलीविजन पे, स्टार स्पोर्ट्स पे कुछ टेलीकास्ट दिखाएंगे तो वो क्यों नहीं टीआरपी गेन करेगा? वो बिल्कुल टीआरपी गेन करेगा, क्योंकि लोग उस समय उसको देखेंगे. लोगों के पास ऑप्शंस जो हैं काफी होते हैं, बट वहां पर लोग फिर भी जाना प्रेफर करेंगे, क्योंकि लोग चाहते हैं कि हम क्रिकेट देखें, चाहे वो मेंस क्रिकेट हो या विमेंस क्रिकेट हो. तो पीपल विल फाइंड देयर वे टू वॉच द गेम. सो ये सब फालतू बकवास रीजंस होते हैं कि भाई ऐसा है, विमेंस क्रिकेट इज नॉट कॉम्पिटिटिव. Everything is competitive and everything has got the value. You just need to give it.
Okay, great. So, final question. You need to answer in one word. So we are in the finals of the Indian under 19 women's. So who do you think will win, India or England?
India, no question about that. I
India.
mean,
For sure, India.
Okay, great. So it was a nice discussion, and thank you so much for being on the show. It was very nice, and also obviously to all the fans who are there and putting in their questions. We could take a few, we could not take a few, but yeah, thank you for supporting us. So see you at another episode of Royals on the Road. Thank you and Halla Bol. Good night and happy weekend, everyone.
Allah bol.
sure.
Halla bol.